So binding your quad to your transmitter looks difficult, but it's actually not that difficult if you understand the basic concept. So I will take you through explaining the concept and also what it is about and how you do it, so to make it simpler for you and you don't feel fearful when you do your binding. So the quad has a flight control board which is all set up to be activated or controlled by a controller. So the quad needs input from some kind of switches and also sticks so that they understand what instructions that you are given to the quad, because it's all set up. For example, if you want to move the throttle, if you move the throttle stick, then the throttle will control the throttle speed of the motors and so forth. So the flight controller needs to know which inputs that it will respond to when you move your controller sticks or switches on your transmitter. Before, it needs to be able to receive instructions from your transmitter, the flight control board needs to talk to your transmitter first. So that's why you need to install a receiver on your flight control board, or your flight control board has already come with a receiver. A receiver that is attached to a flight control board has to talk to your transmitter. So in order to talk to your transmitter, it needs to speak a certain language. So the language is, for example, FrSky, FlySky, or DSMX. So it's basically like English, French, or Spanish. So because of that, your transmitter will need to speak the same language as the receiver. So that's why transmitter is also manufactured by different company to speak to the receiver. Like for example, FrSky, Taranis, and also FlySky. You have FlySky transmitter. So if you understand this concept, then binding becomes very easy to understand. So it's basically to make a secure connection between your transmitter and the receiver, and you have to go through certain procedures so that your transmitter talks to that particular receiver only. So that's why you need to put the receiver in the binding mode and also your transmitter in the binding mode, so that once the bind is made, then it's secure between the transmitter and the. So as I mentioned earlier, the flight controller is already set up to do certain actions. So it needs inputs from your transmitter. So because of that, you need to set up a model in your transmitter to help with the inputs. In simplest term, it basically just means that you need to write an instructions on the transmitter to tell the transmitter what type of inputs that you want to transmit to the receiver. So you usually have the throttle, aileron, elevator, and the rudder, and you also have the arm switch, the mode switch, the timer switch, and the beeper switch. That's basically all you need for a quadcopter. Recently, I found out that it's very useful to set up a throttle cap on the transmitter, because if you're flying the quad for the first time, you will notice that sometimes you push the throttle too hard and then you lose control of your quad. So it's very safe if you have a throttle cap on your transmitter, so that you cap it at a certain level, so when you're trying it, you don't lose control. And also, if you don't want to fly too high, or you fly in confined spaces, or you fly indoors or underground car park. So in this video, you will see how the throttle cap is set up, but I'm not showing you the how to set up your model, because I have already made videos previously in showing how to set up models. So you can just go and search my playlist for that particular video or videos. So I also have a video that shows you how to set up the throttle cap with spoken instructions. So you can also go and watch that video. So you need to set up this model before you actually start the binding process. So with a throttle cap set up on your transmitter, make sure that every time you arm or before you arm the quad, the throttle should be at the maximum first before actually arm it. So once you arm, then you can adjust the throttle accordingly. So once you have the model set up on your transmitter and you bind your quad to Betaflight, then the binding process with Betaflight 4.0 becomes very easy. All you need to do is just scroll down to the CLI section, put in bind, and then set your quad to bind and the transmitter to bind, and then it will then bind automatically and you are good to go. So once you have exited the Betaflight after binding, then the quad will then go out of the binding mode and it becomes bound to your transmitter. So don't worry about going back and then putting another instruction to say unbind. It's fine because everything is done automatically. So I hope you guys like and enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So just remember, quadcopter is not rocket science. See you next time.